Jessica's Speedmaster. You know what? This is still a pretty damn cool motorcycle. Especially when you turn it on and it makes that sound. Ooh, this bike always just sounds so angry. Now, some of you guys who are watching right now might be wondering, where the hell did this motorcycle come from? You might not be familiar with the Speedmaster at all, but those of you guys who've been around the channel since the very beginning will be very, very familiar with this motorcycle and all the trials and tribulations, triumphs and heartbreaks that Jessica, aka Triumph Chick, has had on top of this motorcycle. And this wasn't Jessica's first motorcycle, but it was her first nice motorcycle. Her first bike was a 2002 Honda VLX 600, and this was her second bike. And the entire time we've had the YouTube channel, she's had this motorcycle. She had her first real accident on this motorcycle as well, where she broke a rib and I think broke her ankle too. They were never really sure if it was a break or just a really bad sprain. And we had a great time customizing this bike and bringing it back to life, and she got right back into riding, and it was a great time. But all things must come to an end. And that's right, today I am possibly taking the trusty old Speedmaster on its very last ride under the ownership of Triumph Chick and Shadetree Surgeon. This may be the last time you ever see this bike on the YouTube channel. Maybe. We've been talking about it for a while, and we've got a couple projects we want to move forward with, but projects cost money, and huge thanks to everybody who's a part of my Patreon. You guys help out so much, and this channel wouldn't be anywhere near where it is without the help of all my patrons. But in order to move forward with some of these bigger projects that we have planned for the channel, including the chopper build, it takes money. And unfortunately, since we don't really use the Speedmaster anymore, Jessica's got the Speed Triple now, or sorry, the Street Triple. I mean, its number came up. We had to say, you know what, if we're gonna start with all this other stuff and we're gonna move forward on these projects, something's got to go, not only to free up the money to be able to do this stuff, but also to free up the garage space. We're both sad to see it go. Jessica had previously thought she would keep this bike forever, but you know, times changed and she's moved on from it. It's still an amazing motorcycle. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I think Speedmasters are amazing bikes, but there's just not a place for it. She just doesn't ride it anymore. And as much as we'd love to keep it, honestly, it's really just kind of a shame to let a beautiful motorcycle just sit there and not get ridden. So I never really put the old Speedmaster up for sale, really, but I kind of extended the offer to a few friends of mine who had previously said they might be interested. So that's where I'm going to drop it off now with a very good friend of mine, Robert, who's actually been on the channel before. You guys saw me over at his house dropping off a chain breaker tool because he was restoring an old carbureted 765 Bonneville. Anyway, since he's a good friend of mine, I told him that I'd go ahead and just drop the bike off with him, let him keep it for a week or so and ride it around and see what he thinks of it. You know, we're not in any rush to sell it. Jessica still kind of doesn't want to sell it. Trust me, she doesn't want to let it go. It took a little bit of convincing on my part to actually get her to part with the motorcycle. But since Robert's a good friend of mine, I'm going to let him try it out for a little bit and see if he likes it before he actually commits to buy the bike. And that'll be cool. It'll be cool that it goes to a friend. It'll be cool that we still get to see the bike. It'll be cool because I know Robert, and Robert's the type of guy who really takes care of his belongings. He treats his stuff nice, and he maintains everything, and he's just a good dude who has a lot of pride in the machinery that he owns. So I'm comfortable with him taking the bike because I wouldn't want to give this bike to somebody who's going to junk it up. I mean, we've been to hell and back on this motorcycle. We've completely rebuilt it. We've put, it's our pride and joy, you know, and I don't want to give it to somebody who's going to let it just sit and junk it up and drop it all over the place and treat it like a piece of crap. I want this motorcycle to be treated right. And I know I'm anthropomorphizing the thing here, but it's hard not to. I know, trust me, I'm not stupid. I know it's just a pile of nuts and bolts and metal. But when you own a bike, when you own it for a long time, when you've wrecked it and rebuilt it and been through all this stuff on it, it's more than just a bike. And I don't want it to go to just anybody. Plus, Robert's a good friend, so when I say it's not going to be on the channel anymore, that's kind of a lie, because I'm sure it'll still be on the channel when Robert comes riding with us on this bike. So you guys are still going to get to see it. And plus, since he's a good friend, I'm going to hit him with the old, you got to offer to sell it back to me first before you ever sell the thing. If you're going to get rid of it, I got first dibs. And of course, if he doesn't buy it, this video will never see the light of day. I'll probably try to sell it to a different friend. Like I said, it's not like I'm going to put the thing on Craigslist and sell it to a stranger. So if you're watching this right now, Robert bought the bike and he's very happy with it. Yo! Hey. It's fucking loud, dude. Good to see you, my friend.